Hi, welcome to our March IMUS New Features presentation. I'm Jeff Spring, one of the product managers here at ASI, and we're back from doing some work on getting the next IMUS release ready to go, and we've got some great things to show you, so we'll go ahead and get started here. The things that I'm going to show you today, they'll be available in IMUS 2300 version 20.2.71 or above. These will not be in the upcoming EA release or GA release. These are things that we've completed since that release has been set. So first of all, the first thing I'd like to show you is the ability to generate renewals from the staff site. Previously, you had to go to IMUS Desktop to bill your membership. We've now moved that to the staff site so that anyone can, any staff member anyway of the organization, can come and generate the renewals directly from the staff site. So let's take a look at that. So if we go under Membership and Generate Renewals, that'll take us to the billing page. So here we have the run billing. We've changed the layout of this a little bit. So on the Generate Renewals now we've got a run billing, billing batches, and a logs. We'll take a look at the run billing here first. This is where we select the billing cycle that we'd like to bill. So we'll go ahead and choose regular membership fees for this one. And for the bill date, it defaults to today's date, and we'll go with that. And the effective date, which is basically the paid through date of the people that we want to bill for, defaults to 3 months in the future. In this case, June 1st, 2017. So we'll go ahead and stick with that. The other options that we have, we can choose to bill contacts that are included in a particular query. And if we select that, that'll give us a selection, an option to choose any IQA query that we've got in the system, or if we'd like to create a new query, we can do that. So that allows us to bill any subset of the people that should be billed under the billing cycle, in this case, regular membership fees. We also, if we'd like to, can choose to bill contacts in a particular chapter. So if we select that, we can choose from our chapter list, and then we can choose to not prorate or not apply credits as well. Those are familiar from the billings in the desktop. So let's unselect all those, and we'll choose to run the billing for today. When we select Generate Bills, that's going to submit that to the background processor to do all the billing for all of the members. So we get a message at the top that says the regular membership fees billing cycle has been submitted for processing. Now, it'll take a few minutes for that to do its thing. Something else that's worth pointing out here is that we've separated the process of generating the billing from the process of generating the notices to go to the members to pay. So in this step, we're generating the billing, and then at a later date, we'll have the story done to allow you to generate the notices, either email or print those to send to the members. Once we give this a few minutes to process, we'll take a look at the Logs tab here, and we'll see that we have a billing 3/28/2017. That's today. We generated 2,382 bills. Amount of 529,000. So this is a little summary of the billing that we just did, and the status tells us that's completed. If we want to take a look at the details of that, we can click on Billing here, and that gives us all of the contacts that were just billed. So we can review the people who were billed. We can, if we want to take a look at their account page, we can do that from here if we want to verify that the billing was correct. So this gives us a little way to look at the billing that was just performed and make sure that the data there is all correct. The next thing we'd like to take a look at here is a report that we've added. This is a fundraising profile that we can access from someone's account page. So let's take a look at our old friend Alex Morgan, because he's a pretty active donor for us. And we'll take a look at his account page and go over to his Giving tab. And on the Giving tab, we've added a button here for Print Donor Profile. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So here we have Alex's donor profile. So at the top it's got his contact information, his ID, member type, status, all that sort of thing. Then we've got a list of all the gifts that he's given in the past, as well as a gift summary, his first, last, and greatest gift, and then a yearly gift history, as well as any relationships to people that he might know in the system. So this gives you a nice way to get an overview of someone's gift history, as well as the relationships that he's got to others within IMUS. The next thing I'd like to show you is another new report that we've added, and this is an event question report. So let's take a look under Continuum and event reports. And if we go to the event question response detail report here and we run that, this will prompt us for the event that we'd like to run the report for. So in this case, the annual conference is just fine, and we'll refresh the report with the annual conference event. And what this will do is print out a report that's going to have, for each question within the event, within the registration options, or within the program items, it'll print out each person and their responses for the questions that have been asked. So in this case, the first question we have is, the event schedule is available from any mobile device. Would you also like a printed version? And one thing that's different in this report than previous reports is that this one will report a non-response. So in this case, Patrice Aaron didn't answer at all, so her response is blank there. So if they've explicitly answered yes or no, it'll print that. If they haven't answered anything, then that space will just be blank. It'll show that they haven't responded to that. And that's the case with any questions that are now in events or registration options or program items. While we're talking about events here, the next thing I'd like to show you is the ability to waitlist for events. In IMUS Desktop, we've been able to waitlist registrants for a long time. We finally moved that to the web. So let's take a look at the golf tournament. And if we run over to the golf tournament here, and we can see, first of all, when we come here, we see that we now have an alert here on the right-hand side that tells us that there's 2 registrants on the wait list for the closest to the pin contest ticket, and there are 0 openings, so no one is able to register for that right now. But let's say Teresa Spain wants to come to the golf tournament and she would like to be added to the wait list for closest to the pin tournament, just in case someone cancels and a spot becomes available, or maybe we decide to open it up to additional people. So let's select Teresa Spain here to register, and we'll register her for the single entry ticket. And she also wants the closest to the pin contest. We got a little message here that says the program item is full, so that tells us that this person can't be registered for it. But if we click add, since the button's still available, we now have the option to either add her to the wait list, or since we're a staff person, we can also register her directly. So we select that, and that tells us that she is on the waitlist here. An important note, at this time, the waitlist feature is just available for staff people. It's not available for public to put themselves on the waitlist. That's something that we'll consider for future development, but right now it's a staff feature. We'll go ahead and check out here. Okay, and she's checked out, and now she's registered. So if we go back to the golf tournament, we'll take a look at how we can register someone off of the wait list to get them into the closest to the pin contest. So we'll go to the charity golf tournament, and now we'll see that we've got 3 registrants on the wait list for closest to the pin. We can take a look at the wait list just by clicking on the View Waitlist link here, and that takes us to the wait list, and it shows the registrants in the order that they were waitlisted. So we can see that Megan Jagger, she registered at 240, Ryan Griff was at 241, and then Teresa Spain came along at 418. So if we want to register Megan, since she was the first one, maybe we've opened up a spot or 2, we can click on View Registration here, and that'll take us to the overview of her registration. From here we can edit the registration, and by editing the registration we'll be able to add her to that program item. So from here we'll say we're going to register from the wait list. The link's already there, and that'll put it in her itinerary, and then from here we need to check out to finalize that transaction, and the $10 for the closest to the pin contest will be billed to her now. It wasn't billed when she was added to the wait list, and we'll submit that. One other thing that's worth mentioning here is that when you have a waitlisted program item, the quantity available for that does include waitlisted registrations. So if you have a full program item and 3 people on the wait list and somebody cancels, a staff person would need to come and add that person to into that canceled spot. A public person can't come and sneak in and get that spot if there's a cancellation. So that's how we control the people that are added to the wait list. So that's how you can add someone to the wait list and then register them to the program item from the wait list. The last thing I'd like to show you here is some more work that we've done in the staff site for events, and that is the ability to close events in the staff site. A lot of our customers in IMUS Desktop, they have a lot of events that they've kept open and have not closed because they don't want to lose that history. Well, one thing that we've done in our ability to close events is to leave that history. So the event the event detail, the registration detail, that's all maintained in IMUS for the future. So let's take a look at the webinar series, Industry Ethics. To close the event, we're just going to edit the event here. So if we click Edit, that'll bring us to the event detail. And we see that in the lower left corner here we have a Close Event button, and that's what we need to do to close the event. Now an important note here is that Close Event button is only available if the event end date is today or earlier. So if this event doesn't occur or doesn't end until next week sometime, we won't be able to close it. But since this one ended on the 12th of February, we're in good shape. So we can close this event. It'll tell us that the event will be marked as closed and activity records will be created. Do we want to continue? We'll say yes. And that will go ahead and close the event. And as it's closing, it'll give us a message that says closing is in progress. So now that the event is closed, we still have all of the information for the event. So we can see that the event still exists here. If we take a look at the registrants are all still there, so we can see any of their history, we can see their registrations, we can see what they registered for, the detail of those registrations. All of that information is left intact. So some important things again to remember here is that first of all, the events can't be closed until after the end date of the event. If activity, or when the event is closed, all of the activity records are created, including any CEUs that are defined for the event. If a CEU hasn't been assigned for a program item that requires it, the user will get a message that tells them that they can't close the event until the CEUs are assigned or attendance is updated. That way we don't accidentally close events and skip the step of creating that history record. Again, the orders data, the detailed registration data, that's all maintained, as well as the meeting definition data. So those are available to use in the future. Now, since the definition of the meeting is retained, that can be used in the future to copy to create another event if you have something else that's coming along that's just like it. So that's what we have for March, and hopefully these features will be useful to you. We'll be back again next month with another new features. Thank you.